Hello, so I just started recording this video, but then my mum phoned halfway through, so it cut out, so I figured I'd just start it again. Yeah, I finished college the other day for Christmas break. So I've got about a week and a bit off, which is good because I'm just like chilling out. It's like I don't have any immediate responsibility almost. I've still got revision to do, but I'm just having a few days off and yeah, and even in my days off, I'm still enjoying learning things. I'm not just sitting around doing nothing or doing mundane slash trivial things. I'm listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris, and I've done a lot of research into Islam and the big controversy there between the left, the radical left, um and how they're portraying Islam almost, because they claim to be liberals almost, but they're defending an ideology which is oppressive by nature. The Quran is oppressive, and unfortunately, people who come out and say this, my mum's ringing me again, but I'm not answering it. Unfortunately, people who come out and say this are actually labelled as racist or things like that, and that is a problem because yes, Islam is a religion in a sense, but can we really just call it that? Because it seems to be more of a political ideology, if anything. The Quran is more of a. She's ringing me again. I'm not answering. The Quran is more of a political constitution, in that it governs people's behaviors, through the means of law, and this is the Sharia law, and there's multiple oppressive doctrines in there, especially towards women. For example, the Sharia law states that when a woman is unclean, which means menstruating, she must leave the room when a man walks in. Or if a man touches an unclean woman, he has to rub his hands in the dirt and then go wash them with water. This is undeniably oppressive, and yet we've got liberals defending this, and other ones are the fact that Muhammad, which was one of the prophets, it's actually written in the Quran that he groomed a 6-year-old girl, I believe, and then had sex with her at 9. So it's just not right, and I don't understand how people can defend Islam, but the thing is, I kind of do understand how people can defend Islam because of the racist labels that have been put on people who choose to speak out against it, even though it is clearly oppressive. And it's not even racist by definition. Racism is picking on someone because of their race, because of their nationality, not because of an ideology that they hold. This is like criticizing a right-wing ideology or criticizing a left-wing ideology. It's criticizing a belief system, not someone because they have a different colour skin to us. That's not the case. And now my sister is ringing me, but I'm not gonna answer. Not to be rude. It's just because I've already started making the video once, and I don't want to do it again. Yeah. So for liberals to defend that, I understand, but I don't understand at the same time. It sort of links to this quote that I had before, and I think it was from Jordan Peterson or something, and it's the Mask of Compassion, and it's basically like liberals or postmodernists or neo-Marxists disguising themselves in a compassionate way, or with a mask of compassion in order to hide a hidden agenda almost. But I really don't know enough about that to go into it in detail, but that is basically the idea there. My sister just texted me, she's nearly home. Yeah. And the fact that, okay, so there's the British National Party. Apparently they're not a party anymore because there was something to do with an admission error where basically they'd run out of time and they didn't send off the correct forms in set time limit. And there was basically this idea on the left side of politics that the reason the BNP aren't around anymore is because they're racist. They have been legally declared racist, and this is something that one of my leftist friends told me, so obviously I had to fact check. And I came up with, I couldn't find anything which suggested they were remotely racist. I read the British National Party's constitution. It said things like ban the burqa, but I'm like, okay, I can see how on the surface, their policies against Islamization, is that the word, can be perceived as racist. But if you dig deeper, it's not. That there's a logical foundation there which they're basing their constitution on, and it's not just racism. That's just a leftist attack on a right wing party. It's you to label something as racism, it completely shuts down the ability to talk freely about it. There should be open conversation about Islam because it is an issue that needs to be addressed for reasons that I've just explained, like the oppressive nature of it. The reason they want to ban the burqa is because it is a symbol of the oppressive nature of Islam. It's a symbol of what the Quran represents, and that is the oppression of women. And the fact that people want to defend the right to wear something which is oppressive, like, I don't understand that. And the fact that there's white liberal feminists who are coming out and also defending the rights of Islamic individuals, that makes no sense whatsoever. The whole definition of liberalism is that we have freedom of speech, we have freedom to practice whatever religion we want, we have freedom to do all these things. But the fact that Islam is oppressive and it completely restricts liberalism, it's absolutely the opposite end of the spectrum of it. It's more of an authoritarian thing than anything. The fact that liberal women are actually defending Islam, it just makes no sense whatsoever. It's completely contradictory to the liberal agenda or what liberalism means. It means freedom. Islam is not freedom. And this is based on scripture, and that's what we should base religions on when we're looking at them, because scripture is literally what the religion encompasses. It is the guide which people follow when they're following the religion. If you're gonna take the Quran, you're gonna read it, and you're like, oh well, I don't like that, and then you change the interpretation, you have to split hairs and do all this crazy stuff to be able to get it to mean what you want it to mean. That's not what the religion is. That's your interpretation of the religion. And yes, we can argue that there is a lot of room for interpretation because of the ambiguity of language, but throughout the Quran there seems to be this aggressive nature to it almost, both towards women and advocating war, where basically okay, so Islam is expansionist by nature. It basically its aim is to turn the whole world into, or convert everybody into Islamic religion. And in the Quran it actually states that anyone who isn't an Islamic follower is an infidel. So that's already derogatory to people who don't abide by their scriptures. It says to spread Islam by the sword, and that's quoted from the Quran. So by the sword, that basically means that we should kill in order to make people a part of the religion. And it also states within the scriptures that people who want to leave the religion deserve to die. I'm sorry, but that's not a religion. That is not something worthy of defending, especially from white liberals who have never had to experience that sort of thing. We in the West, we should be standing up for the rights of women. We should be standing up for the rights of people. Not defending an ideology which is extremely oppressive. That just makes no sense to me, and there's something else going on there, and I don't quite know what it is. And maybe it's just this stigma. It's like, oh well, we should protect Islam. Actually, I do know what it is, sort of. There's something else in the Quran called taqiyya, and all this stuff. If you don't believe me, go look it up yourself. And actually, you shouldn't believe me. Go do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up, and all this information is out there. Don't just take it from me. Any belief you have or anything you at all, go fact check. And I'm telling you to fact check the things I'm saying because it is legit. There's something in the Quran called I've just said it. Taqiyya, and it's basically the idea that Muslims are obligated to lie about their religion in order to fulfill its expansionist agenda. Basically, Muslims, and that explains the reason for the mass immigration of Muslims from Islamic countries to the West. It's they're trying to spread their agenda, and this is what the Quran says. This isn't just me being racist and they're coming here trying to enforce their beliefs on me. This is what the Quran says. They lie about their religion in order to convert people to it. So they make it seem all nice, and it's like, oh, we're not oppressive. We don't do this. We don't do that. We're all about love, peace. But if you read the Quran, it's not like that at all. Now, I haven't read the Quran front to back, okay? I've listened to a lot of intelligent people like Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson, and multiple others, and even Islamic converts who have moved from Islam and converted to perhaps Christianity or became atheists. I've listened to all them talk about it, and I've read passages from the Quran. And trust me, it is not a good book. It's not a peaceful book. And okay, so this is gonna cut out in literally a minute, in less than a minute, 10 seconds. So yeah, go do your own research if you don't believe me what I'm saying. But yeah, this is a topic that needs to be talked about, and it can't be suppressed by free speech. Okay, thanks for watching.